All right, Big Bang. Today is Thursday. It is March 17th. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports. It's Free Swim Thursday. It's a roundtable Thursday. It's myself, it's Chief, it's Carl, it's White Sox Dave, it's the full crew. On St. Patrick's Day. We're recording on Carl's birthday, though. Happy birthday, Mike.
Happy
birthday, Carl.
Happy birthday, Carl.
Sorry.
I'm 35. I'm close. Thank you very much.
Happy birthday, Carl.
It flies. It flies.
I said that, too, because I think I saw it on Facebook. And,
Thanks.
use your proper name on that.
I got to get it. I'd like to wait till the end of the day to get on Facebook and see the type of action I get. I don't want to be monitoring it throughout the day. I don't want to be surprised.
If you it's so sad now. It's like not like what it used to be. It's like going to be a shell of itself.
Used to be big time when it was just walls. And your wall would get a little crazy. And I would have loved to have been on White Sox Dave's wall in college.
Dude, it was probably the wild, wild west.
It wasn't. I never was a poster on Facebook. I would sit there and do the chat thing, and then Gchat became a thing once I got out of college, and then I haven't done Facebook.
He was a monster on Gchat back in the day.
Yeah.
You could always get Dave for.
I feel like that's how you and Chief became friends. Basically,
Probably there was definitely an element of that. I was a big Gchat.
It wasn't for. I mean, that's how I kept my sanity at work. It was Gchat.
Yeah.
If I didn't have Gchat, I would have fucking offed myself years ago.
It was Barstool and Gchat. That's all I used to get through the day.
Is Gchat still?
It's still there.
Someone brought that up. It's very. I mean, I don't know if it's just because. I don't know. You didn't just talk to Chief.
No, it was. I would.
How many windows at a time? You got to stop.
Careful with your
wire.
feet, bro. You're smoking that wire.
I would say 5 or 6 on any given day.
So it's like Gchat's kind of died.
Yeah.
But the people who still use it are probably great user base.
I don't know that that's true though.
I mean, because that green dot used to be used to mean something. Now I just
get
just
the
have
orange flashing thing.
I have Gmail up right now. There's no dots. No one's active.
I used it for my old job, professionally. I'm not talking about just wasting time with my friends. I would use it for my old job almost constantly. That's how I sold shit. Was Gchat.
I have an active chat with Carl. And the last time we said anything to each other was December 4th, 2018.
Nice.
So
that's way sooner than I would have thought.
Yeah.
I would have said 2013.
I think that was right about the time we got the offer from Barstool.
Man,
we might have been talking about that.
Yeah, we could have been. Well, I will say the friends that were or are consistently available on Gchat, you know who you are. A couple names have popped to my mind right away where I'm like, man, I knew it didn't matter if it was fucking 8 a.m., if it was 9 p.m. If you went to the Gchat, you saw their green button, they were down for a chat. Mm-hmm. And there's something special about those type of guys. Those guys stand out historically to me.
My last Gchat was Chief on August 13, 2018.
So I'm closer to Chief on the Gchat.
My last one to Chief was very funny.
What year was that?
It was 28.
Oh, come on. That's
very funny. I know people can't see, so it's probably bad radio. But it's our a guy who used to do some video work for us, and he was just chirping White Sox Dave. It's very funny because they must have been playing Iowa versus Northwestern, right?
A good man.
Yeah. I don't know. We could be speaking out of turn. It's just probably dead in the Barstool world. A lot of people probably still use Gchat.
Well, I'd like to hear the feedback. I mean, it'd be interesting if people came back and said, that's just, you guys are not corporate. I'm not a corporate guy anymore, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's true, because I guess that would be right about the time. This job is flying by, too.
That's what I can't, 35. I remember, honest to goodness, I do feel like, we were just 31 when we were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember,
which is a big gap. 4 years is a lot of time.
I know. I was, how old? 28. Dude, it's just year 4 is crazy.
I have a really hard time doing that math. Because even that was right before we got our full-time offer. I said it, and it didn't compute. 2018, it was yesterday.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but any quick 4-year reflections from this side of the room?
You just not really. You just kind of keep going.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. That's just that's what this job is. It's I don't want to say Groundhog Day because that would be
It's
insulting.
a lot of Groundhog Day.
Yeah, it's a lot harder, especially with what my old job was, to chart and mark progress. With other job, at least my other job, I always felt like I was building towards something, and this one is you do a podcast, and maybe it's very popular, okay, but in a week, no one cares or remembers. So it's like, it's like whatever you do it just vanishes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, it's such a what have you done for me lately type of league.
Yeah.
Like it's such a what have you done for me. Like it's sickening how much it is.
The internet, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I do feel, Dave, you've seen Interstellar? There's
I have not.
Okay,
Actually.
no spoiler, but when Matthew McConaughey gets like stuck on the planet and then they like bring him back up and he was only on the planet for like an extra 15
But the gravity,
minutes. In the difference in time, they're like, dude, but like fucking 80 years just passed on Earth. I feel like that's kind of working on the internet. Is like we are on that other planet in Interstellar where it's spinning faster and time goes quicker. So like I do feel because at that point work isn't really sustained. You do put in a lot of time on a project or something. Like how much time, for a perfect example would be Travis the Chimp to me.
Yeah.
That was a documentary you worked on a long time, right?
Oh yeah, like multiple trips, multiple different cities, and like it's just like, oh yeah, people probably don't even remember it.
And no offense, it came up recently in the office and the response was, oh yeah, Eddie did that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Remember that. And no, that's just I don't know.
It was like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
It was
I
not,
know.
It does
I
feel
know.
like
When was that? It was like last May,
6
right?
months ago. It was six. We
That's
aired
it?
it. We aired it the week before NFL because we're like, oh, this is September 8th. It came out. I just looked it up.
Yeah. I also I was
God
just
damn.
scrolling through my Instagram and I was looking for something I posted a long time ago and I stopped on like the Stan interview, like a clip.
Yep.
I look terrible.
In the Stan interview?
No, now
Oh.
even like compared to
comparatively.
then.
I mean,
And-
yeah, it's the age like presidents. Like it's
Oh.
not. It's the same
like,
thing.
Gross.
It's the same thing.
I don't know about that one for me personally, but yes, as a whole.
Well, I actually do have a note about you. We'll get into that. Before we do that, I do want to talk about Miller Lite here for a second, guys. It's St. Patrick's Day. It's St. Patrick's Day. So what's great about this city is you get to celebrate it multiple times if you'd like. Mm-hmm. Multiple times.
Yep.
So there's got to be really good shit going on all over the place, right? Like different
big time,
specials,
yeah.
little corned beef, and a Miller Lite pairs nice with a nice corned beef.
Oh, but you know what I did?
What'd you do?
I got one.
Oh, you did?
Got one for the crock pot.
Making one up?
I am.
What are you gonna pour a little Miller Lite in there?
I think I'm going to use it in its purest form.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to
All
waste
right.
an ounce, but I will wash it back with a little Miller Lite.
Just a little drizzle.
Yep.
But yeah, listen, even if it's St. Patrick's Day, a nice drinking holiday, or if it's just a regular old Friday, Tuesday, whatever, it doesn't matter. Miller Lite's always there for you. No frills, no impressing people. It's just a great beer that's reliable.
Ed, let me ask you a quick question.
What's up, Dave?
Have you gotten to the point in your life, and you just said that this job ages you like a president, have you gotten to the point where you get home and crack a Miller Lite?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I have never been that person to just like have a couple beers midweek. I got home last night, fired up the grill, sat on the porch, and had a couple Miller Lights.
That's great.
And it was bliss.
It's great.
I walked outside today at 11, and that air hit me. It's like a 60-degree day today in Chicago. It was like Pavlov's dog. Like I started drooling, salivating, just being like, I hope we have a Miller Lite at the office.
Totally. So Miller Lite, obviously brewed for taste. It hits different than other light beers. Great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/redline to find the delivery options near you. Or you can pick up Miller Lite pretty much anywhere that they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. So what I wanted to say was we were talking before you got in, Chief. White Sox Dave might need shoulder surgery, and his career might be over.
On your throwing shoulder?
Yeah.
From Dodgeball?
Yeah. I think it might be fucked up. I played in a charity dodgeball tournament back in my hometown it was 2 Fridays ago. Well, it will be 2 Fridays. So it was almost 2 weeks ago. And obviously you're not, stretching or warming up or anything. You're just gripping it and ripping it. And
Cheetahs don't stretch.
And exactly. Like,
Is that a fact?
No.
You ever seen a
It'd be interesting though. 'Cause
Cheetahs
you But you see the animals, the fucking lions, they
they're
do those fucking
yeah.
My
Cheetahs
dog
do
does
that
that.
too.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't know where that expression came from, but I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So
it's
I
not
use
like
It's such a
they're
good-
not stretching before they are stalking prey, which
Correct.
is
Yeah.
my
Yeah,
form
yeah,
of stalking
correct.
prey, is throwing things as hard as I can. So these balls, they're the gator skin balls, and I know we had this. It was a little argument, but that's what we called them growing up, was a gator skin. They're the dodgeballs.
Such a weird way to say it though.
That's what they're called.
Is it really?
You can Google them, and you know exactly what they are once you
Oh
see.
yeah. Okay.
You guys
Okay.
are making fun of me for this before. I don't know. That's what we called
Did
them.
we?
And they're big, but they're super light. And I was throwing them I was trying to kill people in this charity dodgeball tournament. I wanted to, actually end people's lives. And like first couple throws, I'm like, oh man, that did not feel good. But you suck it up and you keep going.
You gotta get the old Larry Rothschild throw a sock and a towel drill.
So I was super sore. Like I assumed I would be sore in the days following this event, and I haven't gotten better. I was playing fetch with the dog at the park yesterday, and I was throwing this tennis ball, and I was
How
trying
long
to.
ago was this?
This was yesterday.
No. How?
It was It was like first Friday in March, so like 2 weeks ago, and I'm trying to throw it to get his energy out. And I'm trying to put some distance between myself and the ball I'm throwing, and I'm like, holy shit, my arm, I think it's injury. I don't think it's hurt.
So what's the next step? You gonna go get an MRI done?
Fuck no, absolutely not.
Why not?
Because going to the doctor is the absolute. I would have to be on my deathbed.
Yeah, but this is
close.
This is for you. I feel like you'd almost rather be dead than not be able to throw. Okay?
It's something I will have to weigh heavily in the coming weeks and months. We are getting to speed pitch season. Baseball's around the corner. Summer's around the corner. So I think at this point, I'm just going to rest in. I'm not going to rehab. Everybody knows that. But just rest and hope for the best, but prepare for the worst.
This is going to have huge implications on his baseball coverage.
Yeah.
Because Dave watches the game under the pretense of like this fucking arm's ready to go.
Yes.
Like he's just elevated. The alpha sense and the testosterone is there just based purely. He sits there. You've seen him hold the baseball during games.
You've seen him hold the invisible baseball where he just goes like this. Yep. Like it's almost like a nervous tick where he's throwing changeups and he's throwing two-seamers and it's he just can't help it.
So that got me to ask him, like, hey, obviously, it's your shoulder, but, if you ever did need Tommy John surgery, would you get it? And he said yes.
Well, because he come back throwing 3 miles an hour faster.
But then Carl's
I mean, the journey.
Yeah, the journey.
This is I'm already pitching this. I got plenty of sponsors lined up here because like a 6 video, total 100, let's say hour 30 runtime total. We'll chop this baby into 6 videos. And it's like the journey, the comeback. Can Dave get back to 92? And we start with speed pitch on the concourse. We end with speed pitch on the concourse.
The only thing about that would be is I would actually have to tear my ulnar collateral ligament, but my mechanics are too clean, so that's also an impossibility.
You know what? I actually watched one of your first pitches. Your mechanics are not clean at all.
Oh no, I get leaky now. It's bad.
Really?
Yeah, he has a very weak open front side.
The Chicago Dogs pitch is an all-time. I'm surprised it didn't go more viral.
If it happened today.
Oh, yeah.
That wasn't that long. That was only 6-7 months ago.
It was in August of 2020.
Was it 20?
Yeah, it was 20 for sure. It was
God, time does blend together.
Very new COVID. I watched the video of you doing the speed pitch at the cell. Or what was that? The winter. I watched it recently for some reason. It showed up on my
when it was 2 degrees out?
Yeah. And your mechanics were leaky, like you said. But it was wet out. It was cold.
Air Force Ones didn't grip that well.
It was
no
ice.
mound.
Yeah.
That, the weather doesn't have anything. But if you go
well, it was wet. You were slippery.
It was like
when I did the speed
ice.
pitch
Weather
thing
had nothing to do
versus
with it.
our former coworker, I was actually focusing on making my mechanics as clean as I thought I could be to enhance the amount of velocity I got. And then when I saw the video afterwards, I was like, holy shit, I need to hit the mound and do some work because these mechanics are bad. Right now.
You saw that and you instinctually thought you had to go clean up your mechanics.
I did. Because they were.
And for
I was so
just out of
leaky.
curiosity, just for what purpose?
There was a couple still shots and I'm just completely flying open. My fucking gloves, I'm using all torso and not any drop and drive. The actual one time I looked at Big Cat in that video, I looked at Big Cat. I'm like, all right, this one I'm just dropping and driving. And I sunk my hips really low. And I was straight off my
We're talking 2 different
heel.
videos. Sorry.
No, I know.
Oh, okay.
We're talking the Jared Krabs video. And that was the one I hit 81 on. That was the highest velocity of the day. And
that gun wasn't fully calibrated.
It was very fucked up. It was definitely fucked up.
Bad gun. Have you talked to Jared since he left?
I have not.
No.
We were told. I just tried to stay out of trouble, and we were told not to, so I didn't.
I mean, a text. It's just
Yeah,
public.
Oh, yeah, you could wish someone.
It's not like Jared and I were like text buddies anyways. But
Yeah.
I wish him well. I hope he fucking does great.
But it just the thought of how often White Sox Dave would talk to, players in interviews and be like, hey, I've had Tommy John too. And like try to talk about like on the same
I could
level.
empathize with them.
Yes, it would be.
How was your
he
rehab?
would
How
break
was
that
your
barrier
rehab?
the first time a baseball journalist goes inside the mind of a player.
Yes.
The
That
only-
would be, honestly, that would be great.
On paper, yes, but like all that rehab, like, I don't want to do that.
That's the next like Moneyball thing. The front office, these
Yeah.
guys are going to injure themselves just so they can like better understand the psychology of these players.
Dude,
better.
probably. Yeah, you don't, because of rehab. I mean, even if you weren't rehabbing to get to like an elite level, you're still going to have to do something.
So
Are you saying what his previous was elite?
No, I'm saying like these fucking people who have Tommy John, like they have to like get
Yeah.
back and they got to regain old form.
Yeah.
Like
So-
he wouldn't have to do that. He would just have to throw again.
I don't really know how it works. If I tore my UCL, would that mean like after months of letting it just sit there? Would that mean like when I throw it hurts?
I don't know. I know my dad, it was his knee. But
My brother tore his ACL and never got fixed, and he's fine.
Okay, so my dad tore his ACL in college and like couldn't afford to get the surgery because he couldn't take off whatever. He went back. He had like some super physical thing when he was starting a job maybe like 10 years ago, and they did like a full MRI of his body, and they're like, you literally do not have an ACL or an MCL. He's like, and like all your cartilage is gone and it's bone on bone. They're like, how have you been walking? And he's just like, well, I've been in pain for 45 years. Like that was his answer. So he finally got a knee replacement. But I think depending on like what you tear and where, if it's not in a like a vascular area where there's like good blood flow for it to heal,
It'll just
it'll just disintegrate.
go away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked. Also, I feel like I should make a statement. I said this yesterday on Stool Scenes. I don't know if it's going to make it, and this will obviously come out beforehand. I'm getting texts. I'm getting that there's like a message boards rumors and stuff that I had gastric bypass.
No.
Because on the draft last week, White Sox Dave was talking about my stitches. I had hernia surgery, so
Yeah.
I just want to float that out.
Well, it's
there.
the combination of you losing like
Yeah, I lost some
60
pounds, yes,
and
but-
having stomach surgery. People are trying to connect some dots.
It happened in the same
Yeah.
way. And yes, rehab. I mean, I'm not really rehabbing anything. I'm just kind of taking it easy. But yeah, when you get like, I mean, have you ever had surgery?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What have you had?
I've had my knee done.
I've never had stitches. I've never broken a bone. I've never
Really?
had a wisdom tooth pulled. I've never had a single surgery.
I've
That's not
had-
elective.
I've had wrist, knee, and ankle. And the ankle is by far the worst.
Oh, that had to be terrible.
Nose deviated septum too. You got a deviated septum.
Yeah.
I think my nose is fucked up. I can't smell. I'm like Dewey Cox. We drafted the comedies. I'm sure we'll talk about that later. But my sense of smell stinks.
I got
Yeah,
hit,
mine's
with,
bad,
I got hit with a
too.
baseball freshman year, and then it was broken in the X-rays, and they were like, "Hey, you should."
That's supposed to be a painful surgery, right?
Yeah, and then it looks a little better too, but it wasn't like it hurt. A lot of blood.
I think I had this hernia surgery last week. I actually had surgery on my balls one time. What a premature decision by me. Listen to this.
What was wrong with your
So
balls?
I had there's this thing. It's called like a varicocele, and it's like something you have like in your sack, and it could basically like you don't have to get it removed, but it's
Did you have cosmetic ball surgery?
it's completely optional, but it's like they say it could prohibit you from having kids at some point in your life.
Okay.
So like I don't know, for some reason junior in high school me was like, yeah, I'll get that taken care of.
Yeah,
like I
clean
was
that
like
up.
so eager to have kids. So I had that, and then
Do you have huge balls?
no, I don't. I wouldn't say so.
Just average full-size balls.
Probably
Yeah.
the same, but yeah.
Full size ball.
It
Well, you
wasn't
would
like
know.
that.
You would know. You would know if you. I feel like having huge balls is one of those things where you know if your balls are like abnormally
Yeah,
large.
like
there,
we
there was a
talked
kid in
about
prep
it.
school who charged. He was this big redhead kid. Also ran the illegal book on campus back in 2004 and 5, and he
which
would.
we don't endorse.
We don't endorse, but this is 17 years ago or whatever it was, and he would charge people to look at his balls.
We had
Oh,
the kid on the
really?
Yeah.
baseball
That's it.
team.
That's quite an entrepreneur.
We had
That's
the kid on the
It
baseball
was like
team
National Geographic. It was insane.
and he was small too. He was probably 5'10", 140 or 50. He was like this scrawny. He stunk. But he had it was just one of them too. It was like the size of a grade A large egg. And it got to the point where like we would just have him like in a completely normal way, like, hey, show him the ball. Like people had to see the ball.
Yeah.
And he would just whip it out and show people the ball.
That's
I think that's
like
more
legit.
normal than not, though.
It really,
looking back.
I mean, we had the same guy.
I think more people listening to this can identify
Yeah.
with
Oh, yeah.
having a guy.
This guy's
in their
not.
group.
It was an Easter egg, and
Yeah.
it was just so big, and he would just always take it out.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a health thing either. He just had a big ball.
Just big
Yo,
ball.
did you
Yeah.
think when you were getting your balls done that like when you got done, the girls would would be like, "Oh, Eddie, like, let me." Did you think you'd get some sympathy about
Dude,
that?
not even. I just envisioned a world where I had like kids and like that. I mean, that's not the case.
Yeah, but I
You
would
know?
bet that everybody at St. Pat's knew you had surgery on your balls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they knew.
Yeah,
they knew.
yeah.
And it wasn't like they also didn't go through my nuts, which is like
Stomach?
They went through my waist. Yes. So it's like it's weird. The way they call it, it sounds really gross, but it's called a bag of worms.
Ew.
Yeah. So it's like there was like a thing they had to remove from the sack.
You know,
No, and
You
so
coulda left that
you
This is
Sure.
medical,
definitely-
guys.
you
It's
gotta,
not. It's okay to be.
we need different doctors if their
Yeah.
technical term for it is a bag of worms.
Yeah. And then I had tonsils, which was the worst. That was the absolute worst. Never get your tonsils out.
Never had
Well,
that.
absolutely do, because you'll sleep better and shit, and you'll get less strep throat.
Are we counting wisdom teeth as surgery?
Yeah. But
I've had that, sure.
Yeah. I've had that too.
Yeah,
Um,
wisdom teeth.
Is that surgery?
Yeah, that's
Come
surgery.
on, dude.
I mean, if they put you under.
little-
Yeah, if they put you under, that's
little
a surgery.
stolen valor. Little stolen valor here.
You think
Going
so?
to the, yeah,
I
I mean
think so.
going to the
Well,
No, that because wisdom. From what I just went to the dentist for the first time in like 2 years or whatever. Well, not technically because I got my teeth whitened last year, but went to the dentist last Wednesday, I think, so a week ago, and they can see my wisdom teeth, but they're popping in. They call it erupting, like a volcano.
Oh.
And they're like, yeah, they're growing in straight and they're not messing up, so you can get them done or you can't. But like, yeah, I would say that's absolutely surgery.
Does that like give credence to your caveman like thing that your fucking wisdom teeth are coming in appropriately?
I don't know.
You can just
That's a good question. though.
build for like just chewing cud and leaves.
Yeah, like
a
as you're
gorilla.
getting older, it's like these
I
like
can feel it.
instinctually
I
it's
can-
kicking
Does it hurt?
in.
No,
Guy
not at all.
kills a deer, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, we will give you the fucking.
They've so every time I've been to the dentist for the last decade, I go twice a year in non-pandemic years. They've always said your wisdom teeth are fine, but I can feel it with my tongue and my back right, and I
That's
can
rare,
see
right?
it when I like
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
It's super rare.
It is.
right?
Yeah.
Well, good for you, Dave.
I guess I would call that a surgery because I had my wrist surgery. They did a local anesthesia and I just watched them do it on the teeth.
Yeah, but
on
that's
like
a wrist, man. I mean, that's fucking serious.
It was cool.
Really?
It was cool. Like
I
it
don't
was,
like
me
to
out.
look
it
at
was
all.
it was just like it was like it was happening to somebody else. It was black and white and like you're just laying there, like you're laying kind of like on a recliner and you're just looking over at the screen and they're talking to you like they injected dye and then they put a camera in and then they had one hole for like the little suction because it was like a quick like they're just removing like cartilage that I couldn't heal.
Yeah.
like a scope.
Yeah. And they just went in, you're just watching them and they're like and they suck it out. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that's like the easiest surgery to get, right? Like athletes, it's like, oh, he got his knee scoped, but they're only out like a week or two. I feel like.
I had my left knee done too. Same thing. I think I was 16 or 17, and the anesthesiologist or the nurse who's the anesthesiologist was friends with my older cousin. So she was like 10 years older than me. She was so hot, and I was like, I was under, but I was like awake.
Oh, you're getting horny?
Super horny. Like 16-year-old me was very afraid of girls. He'd give me an anesthesia apparently, and I would not stop hitting on her.
Really?
So the story goes to the point that they're like, just knock him out. And they
just get him out of here.
they upped the anesthesia, so I would just shut the fuck up and stop hitting on. I still don't know exactly what I said, but it was like a running joke. Because I would see her all the time at family functions.
Really?
Yeah.
What a pervert this guy is, huh, Dave?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a romantic.
family
Yeah.
functions.
Maybe I'm a
Yeah.
yeah. She was like my cousin's best friend. So
Oh,
if we would
okay.
have like a
How embarrassed
cookout-
were you afterwards?
Oh, I was 5'2".
Yeah.
And this girl is super hot, and I show up at the party with all my older cousins, and everybody's just roasting me.
Talking a massive game where
Yeah.
you're fucking under. And the only other
Look
thing,
at you now.
Yeah.
She'd probably love to help you with that wrist right now.
Probably.
Probably not.
Probably.
Probably not.
I've had 2 colonoscopies too.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Never had one.
Yeah. Those are interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
The night before,
I don't want the details.
the
on
night
that
before is
one,
way
but-
worse.
Why? You can't
'cause
eat?
You can't. You just drink this juice, and let me tell you, the floodgates open.
Oh,
So-
Jesus.
Like it's
This was another thing that
it's
I had.
fucking.
When I was 14.
You called them the floodgates, Ed. I'd imagine it's pretty
Well,
tough there.
Was that the dye or is that like to flush you out?
No, it's to flush you out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I was 14, I had this virus.
Both maybe. Sorry.
In the beginning of the summer. I remember we were staying with my grandparents in Connecticut. My grandpa he ended up dying that summer, but I was very sick, and like as sick as I've ever been to this day. I can't remember what the virus is called. It like settled in like my lymph nodes in my stomach, and they got like super inflamed, and they thought I had cancer. So that like I was in the hospital for like 2 or 3 days, like months after I had that virus, and they like made me drink this like gallon, like a 2-liter bottle of this orange dye to like take a picture of my stomach, and that didn't work enough. So you know what they had to do?
I don't know, but I'm scared.
Tube up my ass and just inject even more dye to get like all this thing figured out.
While you weren't awake though, were you?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I
you
was
were?
awake, and then like they take it out.
Damn,
and
you had it rough. It sounds like.
That was bad. That was a bad summer. That was probably the worst summer ever. And then like I got out of the hospital, and my grandfather died the next day.
Oh no.
Yeah. So my poor mom, knew her dad was dying, and she thought her son had cancer at the same time.
That's a tough
week for
stretch
Marianne.
for Mrs. B.
Yeah.
That's a tough stretch. So good for you, Dave. No surgeries, no stitches, nothing. I wish you the best.
The closest, well, you mentioned viruses. So I think
You have
it was
meningitis?
My senior year. So we didn't have frats. We've talked about
I
that
know,
a
that's
bunch
very
of times.
serious.
No fucking joke at all.
That's
There
very
was a
serious.
Student at Illinois. There's a student at my college who got meningitis going into her freshman year, and I think she had one of 3 limbs lost. Like
Really?
lost both.
Yeah,
and-
no, it's very serious.
Oh, it was like crazy. I don't know. I don't want to.
That's awful.
yeah.
I don't know it. I've heard of meningitis.
But
I don't
Eddie
know
brought
what
it up. But I think there's a couple types.
Yeah,
Or is there only
but
one
it's
type or
I know it's
something?
very bad.
Oh, it was so tragic. Beautiful.
So sorry. Continue, Dave.
No, it was so we didn't have frats. It was all the sport teams. Like we'd have the baseball house, football house, tennis house, volleyball, whatever sport. Like there'd be 6 or 8 people living in a house, and that was kind of, I guess, our frat life, so to speak. And football team and baseball team, at least my class and younger, we were all super tight, really good friends with the football team, and we had what went around the school called the Columbia Street Death Virus, and every one of my friends and I got it, and it was the most sick I've ever been in my entire life. I was so sick, I made my mom rush me to the hospital. They hooked me up to an IV.
Oh, damn.
So, like, I was shitting my brains out and puking my brains out for 2 straight days. Like, I cannot believe, because this thing spread like fucking wildfire. Like, over the course of the last 2 years with the pandemic, my friends and I will bring it up because every one of us were like deathly sick. We're like, how did this coronavirus shit that we've all gotten and been completely fine with, how did that become like and not the Columbia Street Death Virus? It was the sickest I've ever been by far and away.
Never heard of it.
I gotta look this up.
I've never heard of it either.
No, well, that's what we named it. You guys wouldn't have heard of it.
Oh,
it was just because
okay.
we lived
I
on
was like,
Columbia
wait, what?
Street.
Gotcha.
We lived on Columbia Street, but it like didn't spread. It a lot of the school got it, but it like didn't spread out from the school.
Columbia is also a country, and it just sounded bigger than.
I said we
virus.
called it. I didn't say
oh.
it was. It was called. I said we called it.
I
as
didn't.
in,
Yeah, I
like
didn't.
we made
I
it
missed
up.
that.
A little
at the
zigzag
end
there when you
Yeah,
compared
yeah.
it to COVID. I thought it was bigger than
But
just
it was
your college
like I've
campus.
had COVID. I think twice. This was like it doesn't even compare how sick I was.
Remember swine flu?
A little bit. Why,
Yeah.
what stands out to you?
It was my senior year. We had just got back from Mexico spring break, and it was just breaking out. And listen, I'm sure it was really bad, and a lot of people, it was very serious. But like we were just asshole seniors,
Was
and
it?
we're like,
I feel
hey,
like it was a joke. Like people made
maybe
fun of it.
I don't know. I just in case it is, I put that disclaimer.
Mad cow.
So like I we were like, we just got back from Mexico where we got a little cough. I think we need to go home, and they just sent us all home. It was just
maybe I think it's a
biggest
joke because
bullshit.
of Danny Boy Kane. Like that's when I hear swine flu, I think of Danny Boy Kane.
Yeah.
I know someone who had swine flu.
St. Pat's was light on the swine flu.
Oh, they didn't even call our parents. They knew we were bullshitting, but they're like, what are you gonna say? You know what I mean? Like they're not gonna
Corona has been the best get out of jail free card for like 2 years now.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but that's starting to.
If you're hungover like on a Wednesday night over the last 2 years, I'm not
waiting
feeling,
for a test. I
Well,
got
dude, that's true.
Fuck yeah.
That's like something
Not so
that
much for
hasn't
us,
really
but-
affected us, but it's definitely.
At
a very good point.
my old job, I guarantee you the idiots that I used to work with were using that once a week, waiting on a test.
Bro,
waiting
I
on
know
a test, waiting on a
people
test.
like that have actively tried to get it because like certain jobs in the city give you 14 days off mandatory after no questions asked.
Hey, you want to get some COVID and go down to Mexico for a week?
I'm not kidding.
I know a girl who
God, that's awesome.
in 2020 they're like, part-time jobs, right?
Yeah.
But she would get hired, not even part-time. Like she was be on salary, and she would get hired, work for like a week, and be like, I got COVID, and just scam the system. She did it like 3 times, and was getting like paid time off for like 2 weeks at a time, and just scamming the system.
That's fucked up. That's super
crazy.
fucked up.
Yeah, I agree.
That's
wrong.
Did you guys
really
have
fucked up.
a school nurse?
Oh,
We
yeah.
did not.
We did.
We did not.
You didn't have a school nurse?
No, dude. And actually, I was back in my high school for the first time since I graduated, hosting some dinner, fundraiser, and the nurse introduced herself to me. I was like stunned. I was like, when the fuck did we get a nurse?
Did you have a nurse?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
So I think it's really important for some students that have like actual conditions and stuff, and so they need to have medications, or if you're heavily allergic, like there's obviously a need when you have a large body of like teenagers and stuff.
Yeah.
But I always just thought it would be interesting if somebody had like a tummy ache or something. They'd be like, hey, go see the nurse or something. Like a lot of the time she's just sitting there dealing with a kid who's like trying to get out of something.
Yep.
Yeah, like when I think of the nurse, I think of heavyweights, like just all those fucking kids going in because they don't want to play fucking baseball or whatever.
Yeah, like the kid, the backup offensive lineman who just had too much time in the sun.
Can't do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he just
Heat
whatever
exhaustion.
he did.
Speaking of which, did you guys remember high school football? They used to have the trough where you would plug the fucking hose into.
They have like 8 different spouts.
I
coming out of it.
wonder if those are still a thing.
They have to be. That's the most.
But they've made
best
such
water.
fucking advancements in nutrition and electrolytes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, do they look down on that now?
I feel like we are, well, at least I'm a little bit older than you guys, but I feel like we were the last age group that was like, you're a pussy if you have water, like during football. Like we like it was
a kid showing up with like one of those fucking
if you had your own, yes.
Yeah.
thermos with a rubber handle or something, like jogging over.
If you had
kid's
your own,
probably still wearing a fucking wristwatch.
I would have those. What's wrong with that?
maybe it's different for baseball, but football practice you didn't show up.
Baseball, bring your water. We're huge pussies.
Football, you did not show up with a fucking water.
Football, you were drinking out of the hose.
That's
yeah.
I mean, we had the hose, but no one would say a word if you brought your own.
No one would say anything, but you just thought internally like,
I
that's
don't think
weird.
that's true.
I feel like people would say things.
Yeah, maybe.
Why?
So you don't think that's a thing?
Oh, you need water?
No.
Oh, you
I
need
don't.
a drink?
No, like it wasn't a fucking bitch made thing to drink water, but you drink it out of the fucking sprout. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're like,
no one would have ever said a single word to anybody on the team if they brought a thermos full of
I
water.
guess it's different.
Different.
Yeah, that definitely
championship
would.
program. Yeah, I guess it is.
Here we go.
I knew that was coming.
Here we go. Did you guys take a lot of NO Explode in high school?
Oh, dude.
I would pound one of the big ass
yeah.
black monsters before every single baseball game, like the probably 28
the
ounce.
big fucking can or whatever it was.
The big
With the
black
screw
can
cap?
Oh.
with the green branding.
Oh, the green brand is. That's poison.
You'd go into the
yeah.
GNC and there'd just be some guy with like a fucking half shit, like with a 5 o'clock shadow who probably were, big biceps.
Dude, I was doing all that shit.
Hey, let me get you. Are you interested in some amino acids too?
Oh,
And
you're kidding me, steroids guy.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, no shit, you were doing that.
Methyl 1D, Omnivol, you fucking name it. It was like go to the Harlem Irving fucking drugstore, and they had everything there.
Yeah. and then you get in the gym and your heart be fucking beating out of your chest.
Yeah.
You almost done on this bench press machine? The NO Explode is about to wear off.
I only did it for max out days though, for NO Explode, because you just need that extra jitter, that extra juice.
What about there'd be guys, and obviously I drafted being in a frat as a douchebag move. I was in a frat. There'd be guys who'd like take NO Explode before we go out to the bar. I don't remember. Tell me. It's a pre-workout that.
Yeah, you do.
I don't think so.
It's like
bro.
Yes.
It was in a red fucking thing, right?
It was like
Play sports.
It was like Red Bull, but it was like Red Bull for
powder.
before you'd work out. So it was like a powder you'd mix in, and it had like I don't know if there was creatine involved in it, but it would just fucking juice you up and get you ready to go into the gym.
You know that
it was so.
And then they like outlawed it. They were like, "Hey, this is really bad for you."
We didn't. I don't know. I don't remember doing it in public school, and like it was impossible to get anything when you're at prep school. You live in the middle of nowhere, and you could only go into like the town, which was 25 minutes away on Sundays. So it's like we didn't, it's not like stopping at 7-Eleven to go get stuff before practice or games or whatever. So
yeah, and I think there was always that kid who was having like trouble, like his heart was pumping, and then like the parents got involved. I know Explode was a real deal.
Well, that was like the Four Loko thing too.
Yeah. Well,
Four Loko was fucking disgusting.
And then the standard 80 scoop protein thing sitting on top of your refrigerator at home, chocolate vanilla flavor.
Oh yeah, you got the whey for sure.
God.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that. I have whey protein in my house. It's just not on top of my refrigerator.
Harry, Ryan's here. Could you go grab him?
Ryan
all right,
Dempster's
we'll wrap up then because we got to get going. Ryan Dempster's here. Listen to Redline Radio yesterday or today, whatever you want to do. Listen to both of them. But yeah, also I want to say I'm not shaming anyone who needs the weight loss surgery. Go for it. But I just want to clear the air.
You look good.
Yeah.
You look good.
I wish I would have made you
Keep
fucking
doing what you're doing.
explode in laughter.
I know. These fucking staples
Think of how
suck.
good that would have been.
When do you get those out?
Tomorrow.
Okay.
See, you guys are always trying to have me hurt myself either physically or mentally for the sake of content. I wish your fucking staples or stitches or whatever would have just gone into orbit after the Shrek pick. Just like popped and put someone's eye out.
That would have sucked.
I think it would have been
Happy
funny.
St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Go get some corned beef.
Unless you're Italian, Italians can fuck off.
Chief, good luck with the corned beef.
Thank you.
Good luck.
I've never
All
made
right.
one.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you then.